good Lord, no. No, not the alarm, not the alarm. Okay, don't panic, we're not being... Don't panic, folks. We're not being missile striked by Russia or insurrected upon. If this alarm is going off, okay, what's the combination? When did the Leafs lose the cup? 1, 9, 6, 7. Okay. Whew. If this alarm is going off, it only means one thing. The New York Giants have finally won a game! Oh, the Indianapolis Colts, led by Joe Flacco, wore their Sunday best, put on their game faces, and with their playoff berth on the line, collapsed and choked in the fourth quarter and fell to the Giants 33-45, with the Giants getting the win and putting up more than 2 scores on the scoreboard. I would very much like to know what PEDs Giants coach Brian Daboll got in his stocking from Santa Claus this year. But the Giants getting a win wasn't the only crazy thing that happened this week. Playoff spots have been punched in. Beyonce wore a new hat. Aaron Rodgers played until his job security expired. Both Los Angeles teams displayed coaching prowess. Robert Kraft cried. And we witnessed history from a foul-pitched invader in Tampa Bay. For the people at home who are not up to date on their fruity European sports jargon, I'll explain to you what a pitch invader and a pitch invasion is. So a pitch invasion occurs when multiple people rush a sports game on the field in progress. Now, yes, the rumors are true. For the first time in recent NFL history, a being has invaded a football field during a game and nobody has gotten fined. This ornithological pitch invader landed on the field mid-snap, which allegedly caused the Panthers' punt to be blocked, with the Tampa Baker Buccaneers scooping up the ball to score in Tampa. The winged intruder said quack and hung around the sideline, and the duck would not be moved, but it's because nobody offered him any breadcrumbs. Come on, guys. But anyways, as the NFL is partners with the Geico Geckos and not affiliated with the Flack Ducks, a Florida man from the stands was procured in to escort the duck off the field, ending the Ducks' football career. Oh, and the Buccaneers won their game 48-14, but I've heard that this duck is going to reach levels of stardom not seen since the Hawk Tua girl. But anyways, back to football. The most boring game in the history of Thursday Night Football took place last week as the Bears fell 3-6 to the Seattle Seahawks in a game which I've seen higher scores from hockey. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers, which now means either the Vikings or the Lions will sit atop the NFC side of the playoff mountain, while the Packers will have the number 6 playoff seed. The New York Jets went scoreless for 3 quarters in what might be Aaron Rodgers' last game ever and or as a Jet. But unfortunately for, Aaron Rodgers' career, in the fourth quarter, Tyrod Taylor took into the game, and bada boom, 2 magical Jets touchdowns suddenly appeared on the scoreboard during the Bills' routing of the Jets. Final score 40-14. A battered and bruised Kenny Pickett made some big-time contributions before visiting the sideline spa as the Eagles battered the Cowboys 41-7, while the Eagles fan base spent 3 quarters of the game booing and taunting Cowboys owner Jerry Jones in his press box. Both the Jaguars and the Raiders won their matchup this week, but the most important win, of course, came from the lock of the week, where Jaden Daniels and Michaels Jr. Penix scored points back and forth Sunday night. But the Cousins' primetime curse lingers in Atlanta as the Falcons lost in overtime 24-30. And with only 1 regular season lock left and only 1 more Red Zone Sunday left before the playoffs, let's turn things over to the newsroom to see how the already in progress college football playoffs are going down with friggin' Zach McGibbon.
From the Hyper Turbo Scoosball News Center, completing his corporately mandated task. It is myself, Zach McGibbon, taking you through all of what happened in the college football playoff, rounding up the quarterfinals as we get set to get closer and closer to the national championship. We begin with the Fiesta Bowl, where Penn State was coming in with many questions on if they would be able to compete at the big stage. And for them, they were able to beat Boise State, shutting down Ashton Genty and preventing them from breaking Barry Sanders' rushing record set back in 1989, beating Boise State 31-14. Over to the Peach Bowl, where we had our first classic of the new college football playoff era, where number 5 Texas was able to edge out Arizona State in double overtime to beat them 39-31. Despite the loss, Arizona State was able to impress thanks to their running back, Cam Scadaboo, playing through sickness and carrying the Arizona State Sun Devils all the way into overtime, rushing for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns, while also getting nearly 100 receiving yards over the air with 8 catches. To the Rose Bowl, where many thought that the Oregon Ducks and the Ohio State Buckeyes would be able to renew their close game during the regular season, but it was all Buckeyes in the Rose Bowl as they were able to beat the Oregon Ducks 41-21. The remaining game as of this recording in the quarterfinals had to be postponed, and so the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Notre Dame will be taking place. The winner of that one faces Penn State in the Orange Bowl. In the Cotton Bowl semifinals, it'll be Texas taking on Ohio State. Now, before I go here, Scoose, I want to make something clear. You were talking about the Christmas party that happened and how I was getting rambunctious. That is not true. You know it's not true, Scoose. Hey, don't hit me. I'm a professional. Hey, don't carry me away. I don't carry me away.
I told you I'm the star here. Sounds like the kids. Sounds like the kids are going to be all right in college. NFL action kicks off Saturday with DTR and the DTF, that's down to fumble, Cleveland Browns in Baltimore, with the Russell Wilson-Justin Fields duo holding down the Steelers' fort against the Cincinnati Bengals, closing Saturday's action. The Vikings and the Lions will play in the last game of the season on Sunday night with the NFC number 1 seed on the line. The comeback kid, Sam Darnold, has done things both on and off the field, the likes of which has not been seen in Minnesota since Brett Favre spent a hot ticket there in his summer. Meanwhile, the Lions have scratched and clawed and paid the price in sweat, blood, and bones, as the Lions injury list features a lot of the people who got them to where they are today. I'm talking about people like David Montgomery. And the only way to up the ante for this game in Michigan would be to get in touch with Vince McMahon's personal welder and slap that sucker in a cell. Come Sunday, I like that idea. Book it, Roger! But before this score can be settled, keep your eyes to the Buccaneers skies for any unwanted fouls. The Saints are looking to end their season gracefully after losing Derek Carr earlier and then a lot more games after that in this season. The Buccaneers are more or less in the playoffs, but a win here locks that in. Bucky Irving might not be putting up Saquon Barkley numbers, but between Irving and Rachaad White, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been laying down some serious tracks on the football field. Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan have caught more than just the various flus going around in the air, and Kyle Trask will be up for the Kyle task should Baker Mayfield twist his ankle or duck out for a pack of smokes. Fans in Florida might have their hopes high and their fingers crossed for Miami to make it in, but they should be looking the other way, headed to the Bay. It's gonna be a cannons firing, all-out Buccaneers attack that will make Booker T go shucky ducky, quack, quack. Don't walk around with webbed feet. Get your wings flapping, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Hyper Turbo Scoose Ball Lock of the Week.